Good morning. I have not done like an at-home vlog in the longest time. If you're new around here or you're just like wondering what's going on with me. So I work full-time now. I work 5 days a week and then I do 1 day a week at home doing my apprenticeship. Just because a lot of it is like online stuff, and when I'm in the office I'm like on reception, so you get like distracted with people coming in and stuff. So my manager said I can do 1 day a week at home, just purely focusing on my apprenticeship, because with an apprenticeship you have to do like 20% of your working week purely focus on the apprenticeship. So that kind of is around like 1 day a week that I need to like do my stuff. But my manager is very kind and said like if there's ever quieter work I can just do apprenticeship stuff instead. So yeah, that's what's going on at the moment. In this video I kind of had an idea the other day. I said I haven't been on YouTube in so long, so I'm a bit like but I thought maybe in this vlog I could talk about like the differences between internships and apprenticeships for anyone who is wondering what to do next career wise, because I like vlogged a lot of my university journey, so I know people coming up to that point being like, oh God, what do I do next? Or if you don't want to go to uni, this might help you as well. So yeah, please like and subscribe. I'm just going to show you through my day working at home on my apprenticeship, and yeah, let's get started. It is 10:30 now. I started work at 9 o'clock this morning. Usually when I'm in the office I work 8:30 till 4:30. That's just our office opening hours. But obviously when I'm at home you can be a bit more flexible. And to be honest, I'd done all my tasks that I had before the meeting. And today was my first like group meeting. So I've just been on the call now. It was about 45 minutes long. She was actually late, so I generally thought like no one was going to turn up to this meeting, but she did apologise for being late. And she just spoke us through some of the software, just like the aims for our assessments and things like that. So I'll go through that a little bit more now. It was mainly just answering questions, and the apprenticeship is a little bit like uni in the sense we do get like pre-reading and pre-work. So with my apprenticeship, I'm pretty sure there's 9 modules and they're 6 weeks long each. So my apprenticeship will last around like 18 months, I think. So yeah, so I'm on week 3 now of my apprenticeship, and on week 3 you have like a group meeting to discuss what you've learned in the first 2 weeks of the module. And then you sort of get given your assessment stuff, and yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel like obviously because it's the first module I'm still very new to it all, and like I was asking quite a few questions I feel like in that meeting, but I needed it. And with an apprenticeship as well you do get a coach. So your coach, I guess, is similar to like a personal tutor at uni. They just kind of check in on you, like wondering how you're getting on, and like any work you do get submitted to them and they either mark it off or they send it back to you to redo it. So yeah, I do just feel like this first module is very much like getting a feel for what the apprenticeship is like. And yeah, like so far, so my apprenticeship is level 3, which is the equivalent to an A level. As I mentioned before, I have done a university undergraduate degree. So I do feel like obviously I'm learning new stuff, which is really interesting, but it's not like super duper hard, you know what I mean? I think it's a good level of challenge for me, because I could not do another degree right now. Like I never want to see a dissertation in my life again, whereas my friend who is doing a level 6 apprenticeship, hers is 3 years long. She's nearly finished now. She has to do a dissertation at the end of hers because level 6 is like the equivalent to an undergraduate degree, if that makes sense. That's kind of how apprenticeships are laid out. So mine is all online. I'm not sure if they still do in-person apprenticeships. And my one is in business administration. So that's kind of what it's all about. Yeah, so the first module, do you know, I don't know what this module is called. Is that really bad? Because I kept asking her, I was like, I just need like an overview of like a topic summary or right, I'm just gonna like open this up. So because I did ask her, can I just get an overview of all the topics and stuff, and she goes, oh, tutors don't really release that because you can find it overwhelming if you see all your tasks like first of all. Right, so what actually is module 1? I'm confused now. Right, okay. Basically, I'm getting assessed in IT, so IT within my workplace and IT just generally. Record and document production, so a lot of the things I have to do on my apprenticeship is that I have to like every week at least we've got to make basically a diary entry online which our coach can see. And then every time as well we complete a task, we've got to like write up what we did, like what we learned, that kind of thing. Decision making, interpersonal skills. So a lot of my pre-work last week was learning about my personality. So I found out I was at ENGF, I think, which is apparently quite rare. So that was quite interesting. Oh no, I was an ENTG on the Myers-Briggs thing. So that was quite interesting. And we learned about like SMART objectives and things like that. Communication, quality, planning and organisation, project management. So knowledge, what is required. So I need to know, obviously, knowledge of my organisation, value of skills, what stakeholders we deal with, relevant regulation and policies, business fundamentals, processes, and external environmental factors. So we're actually learning about this today in the meeting. We were actually like talking about one of the assessments we've got for this module is, so how is the business affected by the local environment? So that could be like the political climate, financial climate. So obviously we've got a lot going on at the moment with like the financial crisis and the war in Ukraine. So we're all kind of discussing like what kind of environments we work in and like how that's affecting things. So she used the example of like Tesco. So we're in a financial crisis right now. Obviously their customers are mainly like families or people who just want to eat. But Tesco needs to cater for this financial crisis by reducing costs, making deals for their customers, that kind of thing. But also like changes in the law can like change your sort of how your business is affected, especially if you work in a lawyers or in the law industry. How the business is affected by a local environment as well as like general environment as well. I've also got to fill in a personal development plan, and then we have a portfolio which we do at the end, but we kind of fill it in as we go. And what else? I did write all the like assessments, and there's an interview as well and a presentation which I have to do and an exam. So I've got about like 3 or 4 assessments all at the end. But so there is like tasks I've got to do all the way through until June next year. So that's when I finish everything. Will be June next year, and I get my results in the August. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next year and a bit. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense about what my job is. My actual job title is Student Information Officer. So I mean, if you follow me on LinkedIn or anywhere else, you'll know I work at a university. I work at a university local to me, and I basically work in the student information office. So we have students come in asking about their timetable, about exams, that sort of thing, and I deal a lot with like intermissions and people wanting to withdraw or transfer courses, which is obviously quite close to home because I did have an intermission, or it was called intercalation at my uni, but it's the same thing where you just take time off uni for whatever reason. So it's kind of interesting to see the like admin behind that. So yeah, I'm definitely still learning as I'm going on the actual job. But what I quite like about the apprenticeship is that you can use like real life examples from your job to fill out things on the apprenticeship. The only thing I'm not really liking so far is, I think just because it's all online, like as I said, I've got an academic coach, but I haven't spoken to him properly yet. I've just like sent messages, and I've got a meeting with him next week, so hopefully he can talk through a few things I'm a bit confused about. But I think I would have liked in the first week to have had a meeting with him, but I just couldn't book one for whatever reason. So I do feel like a lot of it you do just learn on your own. As I said, my manager said like, oh, she's there if I need the help. But yeah, I do just feel like it would be nicer if there was more like meetings, I feel like, so it does feel like a lot of it I'm doing on my own, especially when I work from home alone to do it. But my actual job, I am enjoying it. I love being in an office again, like talking to people, having office gossip, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying my job. It is like tiring, as I said, working 5 days a week, although I feel like with the month of April, because there was so many bank holidays, it was rare that I did like an actual full week. But yeah, this week's my first full week in a while. And yeah, it's like God, getting used to it. And it's just been strange. I think before I worked part-time, so I could like see my friends during the week, it wouldn't be like too much for me, but now I just feel like I'm just trying to cram so much in at the weekends, like seeing people, which is fine. Obviously very grateful that there's people who want to see me like that, but yeah, I'm realising now I just need a day off at the weekend where I'm just doing my stuff, like whether that's cleaning, going out for drives or whatever with my mum, because also something else that's stressing me is I've got my driving test very soon. Do you know, I'm not going to put loads of pressure on it. If I don't pass first time, it's really not the end of the world, but I think because it's been such a long journey for me driving wise, I started learning when I was 17, didn't get on with it. I tried like 3 different instructors, I think, just didn't, and obviously I went to uni, I didn't need a car. Then I graduated, and obviously we graduated into a pandemic, so it took a while to find an instructor. Found an instructor, she wasn't great. And then I'm finally with my current instructor, so I started learning with him at the end of September. The first couple of months was fine to my theory and everything. Then he was off sick for the month of November. Then he was off sick again for like most of February, and now he's got corona again. So I don't know when I'm next going to see him, but as I've mentioned before, I have recently bought a car. So hopefully now I've got a car, I can go out with my mum. Like I drive to work most days, which is really helping. And my mum counted yesterday, apparently there's 9 roundabouts to get to my job, and I'm like a 20-25 minute drive from work. So yeah, that's a lot of roundabouts for a short journey. But yeah, like I feel like my actual general driving doesn't really bother me. I don't really make many mistakes, but it's just like parking I'm not great at. So need to work on that for sure. But yeah, that's kind of one of my main stresses. And another stress at the moment, I feel like, actually today my granddad is having open heart surgery. So another reason why I haven't really been online much is because my granddad hasn't been very well. He's had issues with his heart for like a long time. He didn't really go to the doctor about it. But he has since been to the doctor in the past like couple of months, and yeah, they found something not good in his heart. So he basically, we thought he was just going to go to the hospital, just have like a scan, and then they would like have the operation at a later point. But when he went for the scan, they realised the issue was like worse than they thought. So he went into hospital, it was like just before my mum's birthday, so like the end of April, he went into hospital for like 1 scan, and he hasn't come out of hospital yet. As I said, today's the 10th of May, and he's having his operation. So he was in the Royal Surrey Hospital for about a week, and then he got transferred to Bart's Hospital in London, which is where he's having the surgery. So he's going to be in intensive care for a few days, and then they'll transfer him back to Guildford for recovery, and then hopefully he can come home. But it is crazy, he's got to the age of like 79 and never stayed overnight in hospital. So he's done pretty well for himself, I feel like. And to be fair, even when I speak to him on the phone, he still sounds like his normal self. He doesn't like sound ill or look ill or anything. Like I've visited him in hospital as well. It's just like, obviously it's scary when a family member goes into hospital, and I've never really experienced that. My grandparents are the only ones I have left. Like my dad's parents died way before I was, well, my granddad on my dad's side died way before I was born, and then his mum died when I was about 5, so I don't really remember her. But yeah, my mum's parents who are still alive, yeah, obviously that's the granddad who's in hospital, so it is a worry. But yeah, hopefully, I just feel like today the past week I've been really on edge just thinking about them. And my nan isn't very well, so she needs an operation. It's not as serious as my granddad, but it's just like, I think it's kind of hit me now that they are getting old, and as mum says, like their health isn't really going to get any better at this age. Yeah, so it's like hard to deal with at the moment, but I'm getting there. Like I've cried quite a few times, but yeah, that's just where my head is at. If you're wondering where I have been, that's basically what's been going on in my life. But yeah, in the next bit I'll definitely talk about internships and like how it differs to an apprenticeship. So wondering like how pay works in an apprenticeship. So usually with an apprenticeship the pay is a bit lower than like a normal full-time job. So for like full transparency, I just think we should talk about how much you should be getting paid. So most like admin jobs I was looking at for like a graduate were around like 20 to 22 grand. Whereas this apprenticeship is just under 20 grand. But obviously where I work do fund the apprenticeship bit. So I feel like if they weren't paying for the apprenticeship, it would be around like 20 grand I'd be on, which I'm not. But as I said, I still live at home. Like I'm not paying huge rent or anything. So I don't need loads of money at this point in my life. I just needed enough money so I can afford my car, afford to go out, that sort of thing. So yeah, as I said, that's kind of my salary if you're really curious. With the apprenticeship, you do obviously do a normal like full-time job, and then usually like 1 or 2 days a week you'll do just apprenticeship work, which feels more like university work in the sense you get like full-on modules of things to do, and assessments and stuff. And yeah, that's kind of it. I've been talking for so long now, so that's going to be fun to edit. But yeah, I'll catch you at lunchtime and I'll talk about my internship experience then. Okay, now I've eaten my lunch, I'm going to talk through my my internship and how it differed to my apprenticeship. So I did an internship in like December 2020. So in my internship, it was all online and I was paid. Sometimes internships are like unpaid, and I feel like internships are often shorter than apprenticeships. So I said my apprenticeship currently is about 18 months long. My internship was a month long, but you can do them for like maybe 6 months or like a summer internship. So internships are definitely like shorter term. And I feel like internships are good because they're short. You can like try something and be like, oh, this is not for me. You're not like tied into like a year-long contract. And yeah, I feel like internships are more done in industries such as like social media and more kind of computer-based things, whereas apprenticeships I feel like are more practical, vocational. Not always, as I said, my apprenticeship is in business administration, but I do feel like apprenticeships are more like skills based. But yeah, with my internship, I was paid for it. I wouldn't have done it if it was unpaid, put it that way. And yeah, I did it all online. I didn't have the like training modules that you get within an apprenticeship. It was just purely, I worked with my manager at the time, and they would sort of give me smaller tasks which were more manageable, and once I could complete those tasks I was like given more responsibility. And then eventually, as a result of the internship, I was given like a part-time job there. So yeah, that's kind of how the internship differed to the apprenticeship. As the apprenticeship is definitely more structured and it's a proper like salaried job, whereas the internship was not, as like kind of freelance, just sort of learning as I went along. Yeah, so I got my internship through my university at the time. So my university actually paid my wages then, and then the company took me on freelance. Whereas my apprenticeship, I get all my salary from my place of work. But I'm pretty sure the government is aware I'm doing it. So I think the government funds the actual apprenticeship part, because I had to sign up for a government account. So I assume that's what that was for. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I realised it was so long. So if you've got any questions about either the internship or the apprenticeship, please let me know and I'll get back to you. I just wanted to film this because I know a lot of people ask me on TikTok especially about my apprenticeship and like what kind of led me to it. I'm not sure I really discussed that in this video, but essentially I know I wanted an office job, but I just didn't have a load of experience just with the pandemic and everything. So I just thought an apprenticeship would be a good route for me because I'm learning on the job whilst getting paid. Like I didn't really want to do another degree or anything. So yeah, there we are. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll try and get it up tomorrow, which will be Wednesday for you. Yeah, so I'm sorry my uploads are a bit all over the place at the moment. It's just a lot to adjust to working 5 days a week, trying to see my friends and family. Yeah, so I am trying to adjust that, but now my apprenticeship is in a better routine. I'll try and film something on a Monday for you and then get it uploaded on a Wednesday. And I do have a few concerts at the end of this month, so that will definitely be a vlog for like June time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.